समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। हरि ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। परम पूज्य गुरुजी स्वामी तेजोमानंद जी is शीघ्र कवि, means instantly he composes some songs. So like that, so many common occasions of life he has composed these Sanskrit compositions. Sort of that is one song for of New Year greetings. We live in society and draw our social strengths from our day-to-day interactions with our friends and neighbors. It is this that keeps us community vibrant, ready to help and stand by each other in times of need. New Year is also a joyous occasion when people look forward to a year full of challenges and promises of prosperity and good times with their loved ones. We greet our friends with this beautiful New Year song, Navavarsha Abhinandanam. Kshanam pratikshanam yandaram satchatat shivam varshanutanam te shubham mudam uttarottaram bhavatu siddhidam. Tea is that which is fresh and new at every moment. Indeed, such is truth, and verily that alone is auspicious. May this new year be auspicious, delightful, and bring greater and greater achievements for you. For the new year, we greet each other saying that which is ever new, every moment, that alone is beautiful, real, and auspicious. May this new year bring you greater happiness, goodness, and success. Now comes some serious occasions which inevitably come in everybody's life. And that time, what should be our vision? What should be our approach and attitude to look at them? Condolence. While we do look forward to the good times, to enjoying life with our family and friends, we must be aware of our social obligations. Life is an interesting admixture of good times and bad, ups and downs, highs and lows. Just as we get together to celebrate the joys of life, we also have to help others in times of sorrow. When tragedy comes to the neighborhood in the form of someone's death, we visit the bereaved family and offer our condolences. Anyesham shokasantwana gatim prapnuyat shobhanam vai sajiva gatosmat chalokadhideva prasadat tatha bandhavastasya dhairyam cha shantim balam chapi sodhum viyogasya dukkham. By the Lord's grace, may the soul that has departed from this world attain a noble destination. Further, may his relatives find courage, peace, and strength to bear the pangs of separation. This is our condolence message. May that Jiva departed from this departed soul also get fortitude, peace, and strength to bear the pain of sorrow of separation and bereavement. So we invoke God's grace on the departed Jiva and also the relatives and friends. Graceful aging. Death always brings into focus the sense of our own mortality. Darshan and Priyadarshini are acutely aware of their advancing age and of their need to grow old gracefully. They realize that there is a fine art to this that needs to be practiced diligently. Shalin Vardhakyam. बालस्तावत् शिक्षासक्तस्तरुणस्तावत् दीक्षानिष्ठः वृद्धस्तावत् भिक्षावृत्तः स एव ब्रह्मणि सदानुरक्तः. Graceful. As a child is diligent in studies, as a youth is devoted to the vow of service, and in old age lives on alms, such an individual alone grows to ever abide in Brahman. The first two lines are about graceful growing, and the next two lines are about graceful retirement. Childhood should be spent in learning. Generally speaking, children are attached to play, but we must teach them now to be attached to learning. When they become young, they should not only have education but also a goal in life to serve. The aim of education is not merely to make money, it is also a commitment in life that I must serve society with the knowledge I have. After Shiksha and Diksha comes Bhiksha. Bhiksha literally means living on alms. But the application here is that there should be no craving for the object of this world. Whatever comes one's way as a result of karma, one should be satisfied with that. The fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita gives this indication of the man of wisdom contented with what chance brings to him. Beyond all jealousies and envies, one must withdraw from all engagements in the world. One must retire gracefully. Usually, in old age, people become worried and irritable. But one who has aged gracefully will be content with whatever life brings to him. Such a person alone remains ever absorbed in Brahman, in absolute reality. यदृच्छालाभसन्तुष्टो द्वन्द्वातीतो विमत्सरः समसिद्धावसिद्धौ च कृत्वापि न निबध्यते. That is what is said in Bhagavad Gita 4th chapter. Attitude towards illness. In life, there are ups and downs. There is good health and bad. There are diseases, vyadhis, which can come in any age, childhood, youth and old age. Especially in old age, how should we look at the vyadhis? What should be our vision with regard to diseases? Here are 10 shlokas which show us how to regard our diseases. Vyadhishu drushtihi. Vyadhaya khalo kashtadayakaah apriyastaste bhavanti Shatravastava no tathapi te hi taishina santi vai sada deha doshaja vyadhi lakshana savadhanatam nirdeshanti nah. Tasmat chintam bhayam chaiva vihaya cha grunam tatha upayam vishajo jnatva kriyatam dhairyapurvakam parikshanam nidanam cha chikitsam kriyatam tatha nirmulanaya roganam swasthalabhav parasmrutah. यदाहारविहाराभ्यां जायन्ते विविधामयाः तावुभौ स्तप्रियो नॄणामाश्चर्यं खल्विदं महत् हितावहौषधीर्या हि तां द्विषन्ति नरा इमे मातृवत्सा तु द्रष्टव्या स्वास्थ्यलाभाय रोगिभिः पूर्वजन्मकृतं पापं व्याधिरूपेण जायते इति शास्त्रमतं चास्ति विचार्यं तच्च युक्तितः व्याधिरूपेण चेन्नश्येत् पापं नो तर्हि शोभनं शुभमेव हि रोगोऽयं नास्ति दुःखस्य कारणं देहासक्तिं तथा चिन्तां त्यक्त्वा कुर्यान्मनोलयम् ईश्वरे स्वात्मनि यस्माद् वैद्यो नारायणो हरिः. Attitude towards illness. Diseases are indeed troublesome, hence they are certainly disliked. Even then, they certainly are not your foes, rather, they ever remain your well-wishers. Infections in the body manifest as various diseases and symptoms. They teach us to be vigilant. Therefore, giving up worry, fear, and dislike for them, and after having known from a doctor their remedy, take measures with courage. Examination, diagnosis, and treatment should be done for uprooting the disease. Good health is certainly an unsurpassed blessing. From food and pleasure are born the manifold diseases. It is indeed a great wonder that men are addicted to both these. Men hate medicines which are indeed beneficial for attaining good health. Patients should rather look upon medicines as veritable mothers. Scriptures delineate that sins of the past sins of the past lives alone manifest as diseases. With logic and reason reflect upon this. If sins alone are getting destroyed in the form of diseases, then are they not welcome indeed? If thus verily auspicious, why should this disease cause sorrow? Renouncing your attachment for the body and giving up worry, absorb your mind in the Lord, your own self. For the physician is the Lord Narayan, the Hari, one who takes away sins. All diseases inflict pain and therefore they are disliked by everybody. But they do come. The body is called the hutment of diseases. How should they be regarded? Though they are painful, one must understand that they are not enemies. In fact, they are your well-wishers. This is difficult to accept. Any disease does not come suddenly. Generally, there are some symptoms prior to its manifestation. When there is some kind of impurity in the body, it always throws up some symptoms. But we get agitated by these. It is said that symptoms warn us that something serious is coming up. Human beings are peculiar. We set up an alarm, but when it rings, we get irritated and shut it off. The body too rings an alarm, but we do not pay attention to it. Instead, we get angry or worried. What should we do when symptoms are detected? From the worldly standpoint, discarding any kind of worry, fear, or dislike, we should become alert and go to a doctor and ask about the problem and its remedy. And after knowing the remedy, we must follow the prescription with extreme patience. A patient must have great patience. The process for detection is first some tests are conducted, then the disease is diagnosed. Thereafter comes the treatment. Follow the treatment as prescribed to uproot and eradicate the disease. It is known that good health is the greatest gain in life. In Mahabharata, Yaksha Prashna episode, the Yaksha asks Yudhishthir, what is the greatest gain? Yudhishthir answers, enjoying good health is the greatest gain. Labhanam Shreya Arogyam. In English also there is a saying, health is wealth. To gain wealth, people lose their health, and then to regain health, lose a lot of wealth. So, good health is important. If you are not well, you will not enjoy even a comedy show. The food and indulgences of different kinds, which cause all kinds of diseases, are very dear to all. People love to eat good food, and indulgence in eating causes diseases. What is there to be surprised then when they hate the medicine which is beneficial to them and cures them? In Ayurveda, it is said that the patients should look upon medicine as the mother. Matruvat drashtavya swasthya labhaya rogini. Just as the mother is a well-wisher, so is the medicine. It will cure you. This course of action is at the practical level. The world the world and its worldly remedies. Dharma Shastra gives another viewpoint. It says, the sins committed in earlier lives manifest in the form of diseases. पूर्वजन्म कृतं papam vyadhi rupena jayate. The result of my sins is disease, and if I go through the disease, my sins are being washed off. I should be happy that they are gone. This is a positive approach with regard to disease. Follow the prescription faithfully and do not complain. Go through it. If the sins are getting destroyed due to disease, it is very good. The disease is a very auspicious thing. It is releasing me from my sins. It is not a cause of sorrow. This entire vision should be from our own standpoint. How to look at our own disease without worries and anxieties. As far as others are concerned, we must make all efforts to relieve their pain. So now, when disease appear, we know what we must do at the physical level and how we should look at them from the Dharma Shastra point of view. Also, from the spiritual standpoint, give up identification and attachment to the body. Rise above the worries and absorb the mind in the Lord, who is one's own self. Because the ultimate physician is Narayan Hari Bhagavan, the Lord alone is the physician. Someone asked a Mahatma who was suffering from a painful disease, what did you do when the pain was unbearable? The Mahatma replied that at such times he went into Samadhi. He meditated. Ramakrishna Paramahans had throat cancer. He could barely talk to the visitors. Swami Vivekananda persuaded him to pray to Mother to give him some relief so that he could eat and drink something. On his insistence, Ramakrishna prayed once, and Mother's reply was, are you not eating through other people's mouths? This is rising above the affliction. Diseases are the best way for spiritual seekers to check how much attachment they have for the body. Vision of one's mortality. There are three ways of looking at the disease. From the worldly standpoint, it is giving a warning that I should attend to that. I should not worry to be afraid, worry or be afraid. From the Dharma Shastra standpoint, the suffering is due to some wrong done in the past, and through this suffering, the sins are washed away. That is also good. And from the spiritual standpoint, I am not the body. Often, disease is the precursor of death. A death in the family or neighborhood brings sharply into focus the sense of our own mortality. We realize that that which is born must die. Jatasya hi dhruva mrityuhu. This comes in Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, verse number 27. Darshan and Priyadarshini have been regularly attending satsangas and listening to the discourses of visiting Mahatmas. So when they think about the prospect of their own death, they feel स्वमृत्युं प्रति दृष्टिः मृत्युर्न शत्रु स च मित्रं हितेस्ति स्मृत्या च यस्येह पुरुषश्चकास्ति हित्वार्थहीनं जगदेतदाततं परमार्थमाप्नोति स यत्नतो हि मृत्योर्बिभेति स्वपापान् मनुष्य देवाश्रितो मुक्तभीतिः सदा हि तस्मात् प्रपन्नो भव विश्वनाथं स्वजन्म शीघ्रं सफलीकुरुष्व. Vision to one's mortality. Death is not your foe but rather your friend. Indeed, by his remembrance, one becomes glorious in this world. Giving up this vast, pithless world, he strives and reaches the supreme goal. Man fears death by dint of his sins. The one who has taken refuge in the Lord is liberated forever from fear. Therefore, take refuge in the Lord of the universe and without delay fulfill your life. Death is not my enemy, he is my friend. If a person constantly remembers death, then that person shines. He thinks and knows that everything must die. So too my life will also end. I have enjoyed life and learnt many things through all its stages, and now I see people dying around me, and I must realize that one day I too will have to go. In business contracts also too, there are deadlines. The world that is spread before you has no meaning. That person attains the supreme truth who strives for it. He realizes that he should not run after the objects of this world. They will end, and life also will end. Man fears death because of his own sins. But ones who have sought refuge in God is ever free from fear. The person who seeks refuge in Lord Mrityunjay becomes totally free from that fear. Therefore, surrender yourself unto Vishwanath, the Lord of the universe. Vishwanath means the Lord of the universe and also Lord Shiva. And then fulfill your life positively. Do not live all the time in fear of death. Rise above it and be fulfilled in life. Only if you have the wisdom that Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam can seek liberation. That also comes from the Bhagavad Gita, second chapter 27 is given. Now, the seeker's state of mind. Very nice picture is given here. How they are trying to meditate. Shri Ram, Jai Ram Samosa, Jai Ram Dosa, Mees, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram I, marketing, uh, Shri Ram Jai, movie, Shri Ram TV, serial, Shri Ram. The seeker's mind, state of mind, uh, the spirit of what Guruji has composed, that is very well captured in pictures also. Rishi has grown up to be a fine young man. Darshan and Priyadarshini have done their duties towards their son and have fulfilled other domestic obligations. Darshan has now retired and they both feel the need to intensify their spiritual practices. Over the years, Darshan and Priyadarshini have both been sincere in their sadhana and have been positive steps in their personal evolution. However, like other sadhakas, they have realized that the mind is tricky, now calm, detached, now excitable, and ready to anger. So now, in the Vanaprastha stage of their life, they seek the guidance of a guru, a realized master. साधकस्य मनस्थितिः क्षणे विरक्तं क्षणेति सक्तं क्षणे च क्रुद्धं क्षणे प्रबुद्धं क्षणे क्षणे मे मनो विचित्रं कथं स्थिरं तद्भवेत् प्रशान्तं गुणेषु सक्तं भवतीह क्षुब्धं रामेऽनुरक्तं परमं प्रशान्तम् ज्ञातं मयेदं च गुरुप्रसादात् तदञ्जसा सत्यमहं करोमि. The seeker's state of mind, at one moment detached, at another intensely attached, at one moment angry, and at another wise. Thus, moment to moment, my mind becomes varied and behaves strangely. How will it indeed become steady and calm? The answer follows from Guru. When the mind is attached to the qualities, that is, modifications of Prakriti, then it becomes agitated. But when devoted to Rama, it turns supremely peaceful. By the grace of the Guru, I have understood this truth. Now I shall hasten to make that a reality. The state of mind of a sadhaka is peculiar, totally detached and dispassionate one moment and extremely attached the next. At one moment, suddenly anger rises in the mind, and at another moment, there comes the feeling of being enlightened like a sthita prajna as described in the Gita. Every moment, the mind strangely projects different moods which cannot be anticipated. How will the mind become steady and calm? This is every sadhaka's dilemma. He studies the scriptures, attends satsangas, and says, "This I have learnt by the Guru's grace." Whenever my mind is attached to the qualities of Prakriti, which is in two forms. First, the mind, senses, intellect, body, and second, the touch, form, taste, and smell, etc. Whenever the mind is attached to the body or the objects, it immediately becomes agitated. But when the mind is attached to and devoted to Rama, Saguna or Nirguna, Atma Rama, that which is beyond the gunas, it is very peaceful. As long as it is attached to Prakriti, there is agitation. But when it is attached to the Lord, there is meditation. This I have learnt in theory, but now I shall quickly turn it into reality. I will not remain mere theoretical, it will not remain mere theoretical scriptural knowledge. I will make it happen. Anjasa means quickly. The sadhaka has understood that anything related to Prakriti creates an agitation in his mind. And whenever the mind is tuned towards the self, it is very peaceful. In a nutshell, very nicely Guruji has given the gist of instructions for spiritual practices. The vision of Vedanta. Darshan and Priyadarshini settled down at the Guru's ashram and focused their attention totally on the Vedantic teachings. They attend daily discourses by the Master, in which he explains the highest teachings of the Upanishads, which form the ending portions of the Vedas. The philosophy found therein is known as Vedanta. With careful attention, Darshan and Priyadarshini take in every word that the Guru says. किं तद्ब्रह्मबुधैश्च श्रुतिभिः ज्ञातव्यमित्युच्यते यद्भूत्वा न पुनर्भवश्च जगति दुःखालये शाश्वते इत्थं यस्य हृदयः युदिता वृत्तिः पुनर्वर्धते जीवन्नेव स कोऽपि ह्येष पुरुषो मोक्षाय वैकल्पते यत्त्वं पृच्छसि ब्रह्म भिन्नमिव वा दूरं स्थितं च स्वात्मनः त्वत्तोऽन्यत् खलु विद्यते न हि कदा ब्रह्मस्वरूपं तव भिन्नं चेद्यदि तज्जडं भवति वै दृश्यं विकारी मृषा दूरस्थं तव कल्पना च भवति नित्यं परोक्षं यतः प्रत्यक्षेण च ज्ञायमानमथवा तत्त्वं च यद्दूरतः मुक्तिं दातुं प्रभवति न खलु तन्मोहः प्रयत्नो हि सः स्वात्मानं यदि नित्यमादिरहितं जानासि त्वं तत्त्वतः मुक्तो वै भवितासि सद्य खलु त्वं संसारदुःखार्णवात्. The vision of Vedanta. What is that Brahman which is declared by the men of wisdom and the scriptures as worthy of knowing after having become, which there is no rebirth in this transitory world of sorrow? Thus, in whose heart has risen this thinking which ever keeps growing, whoever he be, he alone is deemed fit for attaining liberation even while living. You are pondering over Brahman as though it were different or far away from you. Never is Brahman apart from you, for it is your own nature. If it were different from you, then it will become inert, fall under the cane of perception, become subject to modification, and thus turn false. Indeed, it is in your imagination alone that Brahman is far away. For if Brahman were to be truly so, it will ever remain remote. Will not such a thing, which is an object of perception or which is only distantly known, be inherently incapable of bestowing liberation? Such an effort, too, is indeed futile. If you realize yourself, in essence, to be eternal and causeless, then you will be for sure instantly liberated from the sorrowful ocean of transmigration. The thought of Brahman rises with more intensity in the sadhaka's mind. What is that Brahman? When it is said, absorb your mind in Brahman, and also when Bhaja Govindam says, one whose mind is absorbed in Brahman revels in Brahman. Yasya brahmati brahmane ramate chittam nandati nandati nandatyeva. What is that Brahman? What is that about which all wise men and the Upanishads say that it must be known? The Shruti says you must know this Atma. Atma vad are drashtavya tameva ekam janatha atmanam. So the sadhaka wants to know that Brahman about which wise men and the scriptures speak so much. Having become that Brahman, there is no birth in this world which is transitory and an abode of sorrow. There is no more coming back to this miserable world. That person in whose heart this thought, this intense longing for knowledge arises and keeps growing, such a rare person, while living in this world, becomes fit for liberation. This thought comes to Darshan and Priyadarshini and all other sincere sadhakas. They request the Guru to please teach them Brahma Vidya. The Guru says, please understand that Brahman about which you are asking, as though it is different from you or it is far away from you, is not different from you and it is not away from you. It is your own essential nature. That Brahman is your own nature because in case Brahman is something different from you, it will become inert. What is seen is inert. Everything that is seen undergoes modification and is false. If Brahman is different from you, it will be false. And if it is far away from you, you can never see it. Then that is your imagination because it is always inferred. If it becomes directly seen, it will become inert. And if it is far away, then it is only your imagination. It is neither directly seen nor inferred. It is aparoksha. It is you. That Brahmajnan which is known through direct perception as an object in front of you or something which is far away from you, that knowledge is not capable of giving you liberation. Futile is that effort. But if you know that the truth, the essence as your own self, beginningless, causeless, and eternal, then constantly you will be your own true nature. Seekers on the spiritual path for many years now. Their understanding of the eternal truth deepens. The Guru's words act as a catalyst and they now feel Atmajnanena Kritajnata. Aho sadekatva vilokanena vibheda bhavas sakalo vinashtaha स्वस्मान्न पश्याम्यणुमात्रमन्यत् महाद्भुतं किन्नु सदात्मभावः धन्योऽधुनाहं निचलाभतुष्टः कार्यं न मे यद्यपि किञ्चिदत्र तथापि कर्तुं परिशेषमस्ति यस्योपदेशेन च लब्धविद्यस्नित्यं हि भक्त्या गुरुपादसेवा. Fulfillment through self-knowledge. Realizing the oneness of the self, existence, all notions of difference have disappeared. I do not see anything different from me, even a wee bit. Isn't this self-realization wonder of wonders? Certainly, there remains nothing more to be done and nothing more to be seen. Indeed, there is no knowledge superior to self realization. Blessed am I now, content with gaining the self. Even though there remains no duties whatsoever for me to perform in this world, still there certainly does remain something to be done. To constantly serve with devotion the feet of my teacher, by whose guidance alone I have gained this wisdom. What a wonder! Directly seeing and experiencing the oneness of the self, all the notions of differences in the mind have vanished. I do not see even the tiniest particle in the world as something different from me. Isn't this realization of the oneness of the self a wonder of all wonders? This is the very fulfillment of life. As long as there is something to be gained, there will be some karma to achieve it. But now there is nothing to achieve. Therefore, now there is no karma for me to perform because there is nothing to be gained. As long as there is something to be gained, there is something to work for. But what is to be gained has all been gained. There is nothing more to be seen, and there is nothing superior to this oneness of the self. The Gita also says, having known which, there remains nothing more to be known. Blessed indeed am I today, totally contented, delighted by the gain of my own self. Having said that, I have no more duties to perform in the world, yet there is something that remains to be done. I must constantly remain devoted to the lotus feet of my teacher, by whose teachings I have gained this knowledge, and there is total fulfillment in my heart, and serve them as an expression of my gratitude. I must do Guru Seva, Guru Pujanam. Guru Pada Seva, here that Gita's verse is given, of which meaning is told above. Yad jnatva neha bhuyonyat jnatavyam avashishyate. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7th, verse number 2nd. 2. Verse number 2. Guru Pada Seva does not merely mean rendering service to the physical person of the Guru. It means living up to his teachings. It means being ever vigilant and carrying out whatever task he may assign to you with utmost sincerity and devotion. Hymn to the spiritual master. The sadhaka's gratitude to the teacher spills over. Guru Stuti. कृतज्ञताया च हृदिस्थिता मे वक्तुं न शक्या खलु यत्नतोऽपि गुरो प्रसीद कृपया विधेहि त्वत्पादभक्तिं परमानुरक्तिम्. Hymn to the spiritual master. Even with the best of my efforts, it is impossible for me to express the gratitude that I have in my heart. O teacher, please be pleased with me. Kindly bestow supreme devotion unto thy feet. The sense of gratitude that I feel in my heart, indeed, in spite of my best efforts, I cannot express it fully. I cannot describe what I really feel. The transformation that has taken place in me is entirely due to your grace. O Guru, please be gracious and bless me with devotion to your feet. This has got two meanings. One, devotion characterized by supreme love, and two, bless me with supreme devotion to your feet. Para also means Paramatma. Para also means Paramatma. Great devotion to Paramatma, and they are not different. Ishvara Bhakti and Guru Bhakti are one and the same. Please give me that Bhakti. Blessings of the spiritual master. The gentle and compassionate heart of the Guru is touched by the overflowing love of the devoted couple. The Guru's very nature is to confer grace and blessings, and so he says, Guroho Ashirvachanam. धन्योऽसि कृतकृत्योऽसि प्रसन्नोऽस्मि तथैव च आत्मानुभूतिं ते दृष्ट्वा ज्ञाननिष्ठः सुखी भव. Blessed indeed. Blessings of the spiritual master. Blessed are you. Your life is fulfilled, and seeing your self realization, I am pleased indeed. Firmly abiding in knowledge, may you be blissful. Blessed indeed are you, for you have accomplished that which is to be done in life. You are fulfilled, and also seeing your state of realization of the self, I am very pleased. Gaining firm abidance in this knowledge, be happy. Darshan and Priyadarshini's life together started with their marriage. Along the way, they built a house. Then their son Rishi was born, fulfilling one of their dreams. They did a good job in bringing up their son, imparting to him the right values in life. They participated in all the festivals and important events that life brought them, fulfilling their social obligations, whether it was celebrating the new year, offering condolences at the death of a friend or relative, or attending their son's graduation. The years saw Darshan and Priyadarshini grow older, and with the years came setbacks and diseases. They dealt with them with a wise acceptance and stoicism as they fulfilled their duties and obligations in life. They felt the need to intensify their spiritual pursuits. They sought the guidance of a realized master, and having glimpsed the ultimate truth, they offered their obeisance and gratitude to him. The master blessed them to live in happiness and a firm abidance in truth. May we all experience this fulfillment in life, for till we do, the journey must go on. Very nice occasional compositions to suit the events those come in our life of Param Poojya Guruji, Swami Tejomayananda ji. We relished them, studied them, and that we offer at his feet. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ओम श्री सीतारामचंद्रार्पणमस्तु. ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरुदेव नमः.